Hi, I'm Joy,
And I'm Jasmine.
and today we will be presenting the do's and don'ts of the interview process.
I will be doing the do's.
And I will be doing the don'ts.
So the first thing you need to make sure that you do is to have appropriate attire. For example, if you're a girl, you want to make sure that you're wearing a blazer or a skirt with appropriate length and slacks. And you want to wear heels or flats. While on the other hand,
I would be wearing like a short, really short skirt and a non-appropriate top. My hair would be everywhere and it would be not good.
yeah. So remember, wear appropriate heels.
Not slippers.
Okay. So now, the second thing you need to do is at least arrive at least 30 minutes early. For example, let's say the interview starts at 10. I would be there at 9:30, well dressed and prepared, and have greeted the receptionist. And I would be waiting for the interview to start. While on the other hand,
I would be there at like 9:50 or 9:55, barely settling in and not prepared, maybe even like the slightest.
so now let's talk about when the interview actually starts and how the process actually goes.
So, when you walk in, you want to have a good, confident aura about you. You give them firm handshake, 2 palms, look them right in the eye, but not like creepy, but with respect, and know that you're going to probably be your bosses or have authority over you.
The opposite of what she just said would be walking in timid and just wave hi and like sit down awkwardly when uninvited to.
When you are invited to sit down, and if you're in a skirt, sit off to the side with one foot crossed over the other and be appropriate.
You don't want to be with your legs open, simply to the side, butts tucked back, and hands on your lap. No elbow should be resting on top of if there's a table right in front of you. Another do in an interview would be,
when asked your questions, respond and take the time to answer and think about it in your brain before just rushing out and saying an answer. So, for example, if my interviewer asked me, why should we hire you? I would take the time, pause, and say something like, because I have good morals, values, and I'm very responsible I'm really responsible, and I think I'd be a great addition to this team that you're hiring me for.
well, on the other hand, I would say, because I'm awesome. But you don't want to do that in an interview because you want to stay professional and you want to portray that good quality picture of yourself. So you will, instead of saying and using the fillers, you would pause as she did and you would present yourself in a good manner, not I'm awesome.
And remember that it's okay to use comedy, like being a little funny, little nudge here and there, but don't turn it into like a full-on comedy act and just start saying knock-knock jokes and why did the chicken cross the road jokes, because that's not appropriate.
Yeah, you should judge your audience and see how humorous they are. If they're not, you don't have a funny side of them at all, then don't even go there and just stick to the professional interview and get it over with.
Yeah.
And you should also never answer I don't know to a question.
Right.
So
if you truly don't know what the answer is, you could probably come up with something on the fly, but just don't say I don't know, because that reflects non-preparedness and it's just not appropriate for an interview, especially for a job that you might really want and that you need to be taken seriously.
yeah, and if you get nervous, don't do this. Just stay professional, keep your hands on your lap, and your back should never rest on your chair unless they tell you to get comfortable. But if they tell you to get comfortable, don't get too comfortable and be like, but just saying, stay professional.
Yeah. Alright. Towards the end of the interview, they're probably going to ask you a question like, do you have any questions for us? At this point, this is where your research would come in on questions that can't be easily answered on the website. So questions that make you sound more educated, questions that are likely to make them say, wow, they really want to know about this company, they're really interested in this company. Don't ask questions like,
When do I get hired?
or,
How much money am I gonna get paid?
and especially not,
Where's the bathroom? I need to take a dump.
at this point, the interview's probably over, so you'd get up and if it's a panel, start furthest away from the door and work your way towards the door.
So when the interview is over, make sure you have thank you notes and go back to your car and write down the people who interviewed you. So if it was Smith, Cherry, Sauce, I don't know, write down their names on the piece of paper and give them to receptionist and then politely ask her if she could take the thank you notes to the head interviewers that interviewed you.
Yeah. And in the end, remember that it's an interview and you'll do fine. Just be prepared, come in on time, and don't do the don'ts in this video. And whether or not you get the job, you'll still have interview under your belt. You'll still have experience under your belt for next time.